All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it here. So we have some new vinyl from Siser. We're really excited to announce this. A lot of people have been requesting patterned vinyl. Whether it's in the craft community for businesses, everyone's been kind of wanting to know, are there printed patterns that we can go ahead and buy? So we actually have, I believe it's about 24 different colors, different patterns from Siser, their new Siser EasyPatterns line. These are actually really, really unique because they're printed patterns that you can now just cut and have that quick effect for multiple colors or different special effects and still have it on a nice warm peel and easy to use like the rest of the Siser products. So today we're going to be doing a multicolor shirt with both glitter and patterned vinyl. We have some white Easy Weed in there as well. So that shirt is right here. We're going to be doing one of our monograms with some patterns in there, some gold glitter on top of a white background, on top of this next level burnout shirt. So, a lot of people might kind of say, what's the advantage of a printed pattern versus a normal pattern or using two colors? Well, for one, you're cutting once and you're pressing once for both those colors and that effect. But also, that pattern is going to be a really, really high demand type of look from so many different audiences. You have colleges, you have tailgates, you have parties, pretty much anyone that's going to be in the bridal area, they're going to love patterns. So you're hitting that same market that all the glitters and all the more feminine draws, I guess, are going to have. Well, this is right in there. And then we also have some ones that are going to hit the male crowd as well, like the carbon fiber, some of our racing flag patterns. Personally, I like the Argyle one. That's going to be great for some golf designs as well. I can't wait to see you there, Ashley. Our in-house trainings are great. We have one coming up in about 2 weeks, I believe, June 28th to the 30th. It's going to be really, really good. Hey Terry, how's it going? It's going to be a really, really good opportunity to get educated and just get that classroom setting so you can really be more comfortable when you leave us and still hold that information. Oh geez, I'm sorry to hear that, Maxine. That's rough. Hey Sue, how's it going? Yeah, these patterns are really neat. We have a lot of them in the back here that you might not be able to see. I'll show you as well. There's football and plaid, different color polka dots. There's all kinds of stuff in here. So you'll be able to see all of these patterns on our website as well. We are going to be selling them at $5.49 per foot at the base price. Is that correct? $5.49. So, it is a little bit more than your typical Easy Weed, but again, you're getting that multicolor pattern that's already in there, so you don't have to do any additional design work. And that's really what's going to be the huge draw for this, is saving that time while you're designing when you can already have that pattern that you might already be using or wanting to use on the vinyl. So it's going to be really, really easy to work with and have that creative option for your customers. Connie, the patterns are going to start at $5.49 a foot. So we'll go ahead and get the shirt ready to press. So again, this is a next level burnout shirt. So we're going to start with actually the pattern vinyl, because with this design, that pattern is actually the background of our shield kind of look here. So we'll start with that one first, and then I'll add each layer individually. This is 4 different colors, so we are going to press this shirt 4 times. Just kind of a way to show off these new patterns. I wouldn't really recommend doing a lot of these 4 press shirts if you're doing large orders. But again, this is a really nice way to show how you can balance patterns along with glitter, along with different types of vinyl as well. So we'll go ahead and get started on that shirt. Alright, so I like to start with a pre-press. So first I'm just going to get some of the wrinkles out of here. Just by pressing this down just for a couple seconds. I don't need to do too much time, just enough to get the moisture and the wrinkles out of this shirt. Alright, so now we're ready to line up our first color here, which is again going to be the pattern. I'm keeping in mind that this is going to be a full-size shirt. So I just want to go just a couple fingers down from the collar there, since it is a crew neck. If this is a V-neck, I'd go a little bit closer to the top. But I'll go by about 3 or 4 fingers down here. Also keep in mind that you want the chest is going to be right at the seams of the armpit, so make sure that we're lining this up where the chest is going to be at that point. So the middle of this circle is going to be the great area that you want to line up with that seam. So I'm just going to lift this up just a little bit, just so that circles towards those seams, and just make sure that I'm good to go. Now if I want to line this up horizontally, I don't want to go by this tag because this tag's not necessarily centered based on how I laid down this shirt or how the shirt was made. But I know that these 2 collars are going to sit evenly on the neck of whoever's wearing this shirt. So if I go by both those collars, I can actually find the proper horizontal spot to put this transfer. So we'll go ahead and make sure that we're nice and even left to right there as well. Looks like I'm good to go. Take my cover sheet, and we're just going to press this just for a couple seconds because we want to just tack this onto the shirt. I'll go ahead and pull the carrier sheet off, leaving the vinyl behind on the shirt. Alright, it's pretty sticky carrier on these, by the way, so just be careful when you're pulling this up that you do it nice and slowly so you don't get too much of the vinyl stuck on this because it is a little bit higher of a tack than your normal carrier sheet. So our next color is actually going to be the neon blue glitter vinyl. So the reason I'm doing this before I have another Easy Weed is because this is basically just going to be a border. It's not going to be overlapping at all with any of the Easy Weed that I have to put down or any of the other colors that I'm putting down. Normally I'd kind of wait till the end to do this part, but since this isn't going to be overlapping with anything, I'm going to be okay. So now we're lined up here. We just want to make sure that we don't have any of our spots on here overlapping. If they are, that means that we're not lined up correctly. So just do those minor adjustments before you press this part and we'll be good to go. So again, we're going to press this down for about 5 to 10 seconds. We don't want to do that full press on the glitter just because we don't want to have too much shrinkage when we're pulling up and doing more presses on top of it. So that's why I'm just doing a couple seconds just to get that vinyl on here. And we'll go ahead and pull that carrier up. Looks like I need to add just a couple seconds. It wasn't sticking fully, so we'll go ahead and just do a couple more seconds. And that should do it. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of this carrier up, leaving the vinyl behind on the shirt. Looks like that circle's giving us a little bit of trouble there. Press just a little bit more. Alright guys, looks like we had a little bit of an issue with that circle there. Probably I think the reason that we have that is because of the pressure going on here. I didn't have my pressure high enough. So what we're going to do is just rely on the rest of the heat that's going to come with the rest of these presses to really seal in that glitter. Yeah, there is a higher stick on the carrier for the printed patterns. Not so much on the glitters, but it is holding on to that printed pattern pretty strongly. So when you are pressing over top of that, just keep it in mind that it is going to want to stick to these patterns a little bit more because that's more of an ink on there. So now we're going to come in with our white text, and the reason we have this white text is to put our gold on top of. When you have a busy background like that, you want to make sure that you have a nice border to put your gold on top of so that you can actually read the text, because if we just put the gold straight onto the houndstooth, it would be really, really difficult to read. So we'll go ahead and press this one. It really does try to grab onto that pattern vinyl there, so just be careful when you're pulling your carriers off. Last but not least, we have the gold glitter to go on top of this shirt as well. Again, notice how that shows up so much better when there's a slight white background there as well. Might be kind of hard to see from that angle, but it's going to be really, really tough to read that gold if we didn't supply that white background. So again, just keep that in mind when you're designing with the pattern vinyls, that it might be best if you're going to use it as a background just to supply that either white or black contrast so it's real nice to read your text. The design's placed pretty high because it's actually about a foot tall or so. So I did want to place that high enough to where it's not sitting too low on the shirt to where it's appearing on the stomach. A pressing pillow might help here. I think I just needed to adjust the pressure on my heat press. It's not really locking in all that heat. So that's why I'm having to press this just a couple more seconds. So this one we're going to go about 15 seconds just to really seal in all of that. Again, this is the last press, so that's when we're going to do the most seconds when we're doing multiple presses on vinyl. The timer's not going right now, so I'm just going to count about 15 seconds. Looks like we're good right about now. Last carrier. And there we have it. So now we've got our shirt here. You want to switch to that camera? With our gold glitter, our houndstooth pattern, the white background, the light blue or the neon blue glitter, and a nice creative shirt to give to someone that, whether they're in a sorority or just want a monogram or just want a nice pattern. It is going to shrink similarly to Siser's EasyWeed, so I would go by most wash, cut, and press settings for that. That being said, it will cut and weed just a little bit differently than EasyWeed. So now we actually have some other colors here. Right there we use the houndstooth, so I just want to show you guys we do have polka dots in a couple different colors. There's the camos, we have chevron, digital camo, all kinds of stuff for you guys here. Plaid, I like this one as well. This is a little bit different because plaid is something that's, typically a fabric, and now we have a vinyl that's going to replicate that fabric. So that's always nice when you can kind of throw that different style or different look to a vinyl when you're not actually changing the material. You're just having a printed vinyl on there. And then also, for the sports fans, there's football and basketball and so also all the good ones. So do you guys have any more questions about some of those patterned vinyls or information about them? Have to really line up when cutting. Yeah, Lisa, do you mean how you're going to design it when you're working with a pattern? The width, it's going to be 20 inches wide, 18 inches wide. Yeah, and one thing to consider when you are designing with a pattern is know how that effect is going to go into your design. So, this one was pretty simple because we just did a background to it. So it was really, really easy just to rely on that pattern for supplying something nice. If we chose to do a pattern for the border or for the text, it might look a little bit different. So you might want to base your decision on what pattern to use based on the type of design that you're working with or how you're using that color. The print, it is kind of similar in the fact that they're patterns. They're printed onto the vinyl. The main difference between the two is that this one's going to be a warm peel, while the Shemika is a cold peel. So for those of you that are liking to, produce things a little bit faster, keep rolling, be able to do these presses at the full temperature and full pressure, that's when you're really going to have that advantage with the warm peel. Will these patterns be added to the wizard? As far as the color options, we will be adding those, so stay tuned for that, but we will be having that soon. How are you doing today, Lisa? You're welcome, Tiffany. So what do you guys think? What's your favorite pattern so far from what you can see here? Personally, again, I like the Argyle. Let me pull that one out. So this right here, I really like this one. This is going to be really popular for guys and anyone that's into the golfing theme, or pretty much anything that's going to be a little bit classier as well. It's a nice printed pattern. You can even make just patterns on a normal shirt. You can do stripes, or you could do a plaid pattern. You could do a Argyle pattern with an Argyle print. So there's a lot of options on using these patterns of how you could be creative. Yes, that's correct, Kalea. Definitely the polka dots and the pink camo. I don't know if I agree with you guys, but hey, if you want to get it, then that must be the best color. The pink, you know what? Pink probably is going to be the most popular pattern if you think about it, based on who you're going to be selling to. The types of designs that are going to require patterns are often using the color pink. So those probably will be the wise ones to stock up on. Yeah, camo and houndstooth are big sellers. And, Alabama, I've heard, is kind of the founder of that houndstooth theme or pattern. So I have no doubts that it'll do well there. I would imagine any of the college areas that are kind of in that same realm of the southeast and just different, definitely with the sorority crowd, those patterns and the houndstooth will do really well. Now, Lynette, one of the main differences between the printed vinyl for the basketball with Siser and the Shemika basketball vinyl is that it's a textured one for Shemika, so you can actually feel that pattern on there, while these are just printed patterns, so you're not actually going to have that leather or basketball feel. Yes, Maxine, printed patterns are out there. Usually if you're buying them custom, they are going to be at a much higher price. So what we did is we took a lot of popular colors that Siser was offering, and just we're supplying those patterns just because they are going to be requested pretty often to not have to do too much of the custom printing. So a lot of people were already just getting basic chevrons and polka dots printed at a much higher price. So this is a way to come in a little bit lower cost there. Lisa, I would say 45-degree blade. Technically, you could probably use either, but I would keep this in the realm of EasyWeed and the other types of vinyls that you're going to be using a 45-degree blade on. Hey, Alexis. Are these TRW exclusive? These are not exclusive patterns for the rhinestone world. These are patterns that Siser as a company is offering. And we decided that we would carry all of their patterned colors. Do they stretch? I would not consider it like the EasyWeed stretch. On this shirt, I could tell you that it's going to flex a little bit, but I probably wouldn't do that. Sometimes when you're stretching a vinyl, you might not notice that it has stretch marks or things like that. When you're working with an ink that's printed on something, you want to avoid stretching at all costs. So I would try and stay away from some of the sports gear and stuff that's going to try and flex more, just because you don't want to distort those printed patterns that are on there. Hey Linda, how's it going? Yeah, you know, when you get to stretching these patterns, Lisa, you might experience that cracking, especially after it goes through the wash a couple times and it's been stretched. So I would try and keep these nice and folded when you're not wearing them. Tell your customers to try and take good care of them. You know, it takes a lot to print on those patterns, so you want to kind of treat them like so. Hey Susan, how's it going? You guys got some more questions? We got a lot of patterns here. We're gonna show off some more of them that you're not seeing down here on the end. We got oh, this one's neat. This one's called chocolate. I'm not sure why. It's maybe this reminds people of chocolate or makes them hungry or something. I don't know, but it is a pretty neat pattern. I would imagine that it's going to be a little bit nicer for the crafting community using this pattern, as well as some of these leopards as well. There's always a demand for leopard out there. Hey Linda, this is just the Siser EasyPatterns. So it's a new type of heat transfer vinyl from Siser that's fully printed patterns. We're offering 24 different colors. They're going to cut and weed similar to their Easy Weed line, and then you're just going to press them onto the shirt like the one that we just made right here. We did a nice houndstooth background with some glitter and Easy Weed on top of it. Camo patterns? Sure, we have a couple different kinds of camo patterns. There's the regular and then there's digital. So I'll pull out both of them here. We got one of the digitals right here. We have pink digital camo. Sorry about that. We got too many colors. Alright, so we got our camos right here. There's the pink digital, there's the desert digital, and then there's regular green camo right here. Oh yeah, we have a pink camouflage as well. It's hard for me to keep up with all these colors. And then you got zebra stripes, polka dots, chevron, all those, you know, patterns that are definitely most popular over time. Yeah, Tiffany, you're not the only clumsy one here. I'm definitely known for being clumsy. I spill things all the time. I'm surprised I don't have anything on this shirt right now. Yes, it does come with the carrier attached. Often, if you ever are printing your own vinyl, you do need to supply your own mask or carrier. With these, they're going to come already on it, so you don't have to do anything extra besides just cutting and pressing. Good question, Paul. Polly? Hello, Bethany. How's it going? Are they on the website? They will be now. They are on the website. So go ahead and check out all 24 of these colors, and you know, just go ahead and try some of them. You know, you never know what you're going to be able to create until you actually go ahead and try some of these things out. So I would say check out some of your favorite patterns that we have here and just go ahead and try it, sample some things, and you know, create some products to just show your customers. They're not going to be aware that they have these pattern options if they're familiar with what you're already offering. So this is going to be something completely new to them, so go ahead and show it off. Do you mirror? Yes, it's going to cut like your normal heat transfer vinyl, so definitely mirror the design. Yes, Mary and Tiffany, both. You will mirror the design. You're going to feed this in like it's an Easy Weed or like it's a typical vinyl. It's a heat transfer, so when there's a carrier on top, you're not going to be cutting through that carrier, and that differs from sign vinyl or when you're working with rhinestones. You're welcome. Sample sheet of colors available. You know what? For right now, we're going to have some images on the website, but in the near future, we're going to have some catalogs from Siser to where they'll include some of those patterns and options as well. Right now, we only have the most recent ones that we got, which don't include the patterns, but we'll be working on that shortly to have something physical for you. But in the meantime, we will have those images on our website. As far as how they feel, it's going to be similar to just your typical vinyl. I don't know if you've ever felt a printed vinyl. It does have a little bit different of a finish on it. It's not as glossy, but it's going to feel, as far as the weight of it and the thickness, it's going to be very, very similar to your typical Siser EasyWeed. My new obsession. I feel you, Jenny. This is a really creative opportunity. I haven't had the proper time to mess around with them yet, but I'm looking forward to cutting some of this plaid and argyle and football prints, and kind of proving that some of these printed patterns can really be used for guys' designs as well. Alright guys, well, if you don't have any other questions about the printed vinyl, I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Yes, you can order today. As soon as I go ahead and throw these back in the warehouse, they'll be able to cut your orders and fill them for you. Baseball patterns, not yet, but a lot of these patterns are going to work really, really well with baseball designs. Ashley, as you know, we do anything baseball, so I'll go ahead and tell you soon we'll have an answer for you on the baseball. But I would say go ahead and use some of these patterns or some of our different baseball templates, and you'll still be able to really cater to that crowd. Khaki, you don't see it on the website? Search Easy Pattern. Hockey patterns. No, we don't have any hockey patterns yet. I hear the demand for the sports patterns, so we'll definitely look into that. As far as sports, though, we do have basketball and football patterns from them. Those are textures that you can recreate an image for. It's going to be a little bit tougher to do a baseball or hockey, just because that's going to involve, the actual puck or baseball to be repeatedly printed on there. So again, with the hockey, same thing with the baseball. We'll have an answer for you soon there. So what we made with these patterns is right here. This shirt has 4 different colors on it. We used the houndstooth pattern to supply the background, and we used gold and neon blue glitter, as well as a white EasyWeed to supplement that gold text to make it show up a little bit better on the background. Dancing, Melissa, do you mean dancing patterns? I mean, I think a good amount of these patterns could be used for dancing. As far as maybe having dancers or something printed on there, again, we always will take requests for anything that you want to see from us. As far as what Siser produces, these are the colors that they have, but definitely let us know when you have suggestions or requests on colors and patterns, things like that. We'll try and cater to you. Alright guys, well, if there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Again, on the website, it's the Siser EasyPatterns. Again, I'm Joe from the Rhinestone World, and we really appreciate you tuning in and watching our live videos. We love to show you all the new things that we do, give you tips when we can, show you examples of the work that you can create with the products that we have, and we like to answer your questions. So, always feel free to ask us anything that's rattling around your brain on how to boost your business, and we'll provide you with a great answer. In the meantime, y'all have a great one, and we'll see you.